You're looking at the back of a Yamaha receiver. You can see all the connections it has, and it's quite a few. I'm going to do two videos. One that deals with the inputs and outputs and what the different connectors are and which ones go where, which ones you should use. And this video, which is just about the speakers and which ones control what and how you should set them up. And even though your receiver might be a different brand completely, a lot of them have the same types of connections, and so this can still be helpful for you. So here's a speaker wire, and you can see it's actually transparent, just has a positive and negative, and they help you indicate this by giving one usually has a white stripe on it, and you can hook either one up to the positive and negative. It doesn't really matter as long as you're consistent when you do it. So I hook up the white to the red, and the red is the positive. Now on the back of your speaker you also have a black and a red, or a negative and a positive, and you want to hook up the wires correspondingly. Now, will it still work if you don't? Yeah, it'll still work, but you're not going to get the best sound out of it. The basses will probably be a little weak. So might as well, if you're going to spend all this money and go through all this effort, just go ahead and hook them up correctly. So let's zoom in here. So these connectors, you can put your wires in two ways. One is to unscrew it, and you can see there's this little hole back there that you can slip it in, and then you just tighten it. And the black one goes in, and you can give it a bit of a pull, make sure that it's nice and snug. Now what I do is you can see it says center on this cable. That way I know that this is the center speaker. So when I'm running the wires, you might as well save yourself a little bit of a headache later and just go ahead and make a little note on your cable. These connectors are really for a home theater setup, and you probably are very familiar with speakers left and right. That would be these down here. They're just labeled front. You can see the R there, and there's an L over here. And you hook them up the same way as you did the center speaker that I just showed you. So that's just your main basic front, left and right. Now above that it's going to say here surround. Now these are the back left and right speakers. And then above that you can see it says surround back by amp. And what that means is there's additional speakers you can hook up to add an either greater depth of audio, and these also go in the back, but probably closer together and a little bit higher than your regular rear surround speakers. And then last we have the presence speakers. Now these go in the front up a little higher, and what they do is add another depth of audio. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, plus the subwoofer is 10. So that's 10 speakers. Now the subwoofer on this is way over here. Where'd it go? It's hiding. Yeah, there's the subwoofer. And this just uses a regular coax cable like that. And you should have a powered subwoofer, which means that it plugs into the wall and it has its own amplifier built inside. This receiver also allows you to have what it calls zones, and it splits itself up. So you could listen to the audio in your theater room as well as have totally separate audio playing throughout your house on a left channel and a right channel. So if somebody's watching a movie, you could be using this same receiver to have your music playing and control it with a totally separate remote somewhere else in the house. Really helpful. And these connectors just flip up. These little levers in there. So you lift it up, you slip your wire in, and you clamp it down closed. And that's not how you're supposed to do that, but for the video it's okay. You should spin the end of the wires so that they're nice. They look like a nice braided rope, not all rat's nest like that. So anyway, that's how those work. Okay, so you see that it's not that nice and clean dealing with wires. It can look like this if you're not careful. And it's really not that big of a deal, but they do make some nice connectors that are called banana connectors, and that's this nice metal end that you put on, and it just inserts right into the back of here. It's much easier, much cleaner, much nicer inserting a banana connector than it is dealing with wires that look like you know, they're going to be falling apart, and it's not easy to put them in here. So if you can, get banana connectors. I recommend them. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. And the next one, I'll show you all these other connectors here and what they do.